This video was sponsored by Enhance, Elbilmek, ABRP Planner, Kempower and Bilkomponenter.
Yo, what's up? Today we are in Chiang Mai at night and I'm gonna do a range test of this GAC Aion ES. It is a sedan similar to a Model 3 and it has a drag coefficient of 0.21 only. But it's front wheel drive and only 136 horsepower, 220 Newton meter of torque. So I wanna see how efficient can this car be. Okay, it's night over here, it's kind of cold, only 18.5 degrees Celsius. So yeah, can it match Model 3 in efficiency? I mean, it looks slick, right? And it's electric and it has tiny wheels. So we'll see. Okay, this time I actually come alone. The kids, they are asleep in the Airbnb. And then here we see a quite sparse interior. It doesn't have anything. I'm not kidding, it has nothing. It has this analog gauge here. I see the speed, the speedometer and the RPM or whatever, the power meter here takes up around, I don't know, 60-70% of the usable space here. And then you have a little bit of information here. And then you have to use this to cycle through. Let me show you here. Cycle through, wait here. Wait, huh? Oh, my bad, I forgot the speed. Okay, here. It's upside down. Here, okay, let me try again. My bad. Here, you can cycle through some information, but it has actually a proper trip meter. For a Chinese car, that is great. MG, and at least this car has it. Most other Chinese cars, they just show you the rolling average for the last 50 kilometers. But it has actually several other settings or information, but I just disable them. Like you can see the 12 volt voltage and stuff like that. But yeah, you just have to cycle through this. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this while I'm stationary, because when I'm driving, then it's kind of risky to do all of this. I mean, it's not ideal to do all this stuff. And then here we have also a very sparse infotainment. So, hey, come on. Yeah, there's nothing here, no navigation, very sparse in user, whatever. I'm just gonna leave it there. Let's start the test then. All right, we're on the move, and we actually have to cruise at 96 kilometers per hour to match 90 GPS speed. And also, when I said that this car doesn't have anything, I actually mean it. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have adaptive cruise control, and obviously it doesn't have auto steer, so it only has dumb cruise control. What the heck, man? This car costs 900,000 baht in Thailand. You can buy an MG4 or a BYD or other EVs for almost half the price. Like a BYD Dolphin that costs 570k baht only, has auto steer and adaptive cruise control, but this car doesn't have it. Okay, well, whatever, I'm just gonna drive now manually, do my loop. It's 33.8 kilometers, and then we see what the consumption is. And when it comes to the ride, it actually rides really well. It has a soft-ish suspension, perfect balance between softness and firmness. It's not bouncy. It actually feels more like a European car when it comes to ride comfort. So really impressive. Soundproofing might not be the best, but I mean, it's still okay. It's not that noisy. It's not as noisy as a classic Model 3, for example. Yeah, the reason why I compare it to the Model 3, because the Model 3 is also a sedan. You don't want to compare it against SUV. But then, what is the point of this car if it's so expensive and it's so sparse? Well, it's probably because of the warranty, because if you buy this as a private person, you get 200,000 kilometer warranty on the battery, and maybe also the drivetrain, I'm not sure, but at least the battery. But if you buy this and use it as a taxi, then you get 900,000 kilometer warranty. I don't know what's up with that, but it means that many taxis in Bangkok, they buy this, or they use it as taxi. But I don't see that many private people using this car. Mostly on the road in Thailand, you will see lots of BYD Dolphins. All right, we consume 158 watt-hour per kilometer. That's not super great. You see that outside temperature is 17.5 degrees Celsius. So All right, let's see how thirsty it becomes at 120 kilometers per hour then. All right, and now we have to cruise at 126 kilometers per hour to match 120 GPS speed. Just gonna hammer it, same route, and then see. Okay, look, when I U-turn now, I have the car in eco mode. You wanna see how weak this car is? I'm flooring it now. And it accelerates so slow. In order to unlock more power, I have to put the car in sport mode or normal mode. But since I'm doing a range test, I use eco mode, and then it becomes incredibly slow. Holy macaroni. All right, this time it was 208 watt-hour per kilometer. I mean, it's okay for a sedan, but not that great. Okay, I have a low tire pressure. It's not gonna affect the consumption that much, maybe 1 to 5 watt-hour per kilometer. But what the heck, man? The backup camera is so shitty. It has so low resolution. It's unbelievable how shitty it can be. Okay, I mean, you think, oh, maybe the camera is blurry. No, well, look at the image here of that's just internal graphics versus that blurry backup camera. Most cars I try nowadays, they have quite sharp camera. Like here, it is so bad, man. What, did they get this camera from Temu? What the heck? I was gonna fill in some air, and then I'm looking for the tire pressure. It's usually on the inside of the driver's door, but not here. So, is it on the passenger side? Some cars are like that. 9, nicht here. What about, what the heck is that? Whoa, there's a lot of burn. Whoa, crazy. Did I scare them off? They were sleeping there. And then I was like, yeah, shit. And then they, what, do we have birds over here? Are they gonna shit on me? Oh, I don't want poop all over the car. Shit. Okay, what about here? Some cars, they happen on a really weird spot inside the charge port. Wait, man, these butt plugs, they come out so easy. It's not here. I don't know where the tire pressure is. Just gonna fill in a couple of extra bars. And another weird and bad thing with this car is that every time you start charging, regardless of how many percent state of charge you have, you will get only 5 kilowatt. I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, you can see it on this screen here. That shows you only volts and amp, just like all the other Chinese cars. This happens for 2 minutes until it ramps up. Oh yeah, there you go, 194 amp. How many kilowatt is that? Well, this app hasn't updated yet, but it will come soon. Okay, we're getting whopping 69 kilowatt hour per hour. And then based on the previous test, I measured 54.7 kilowatt hour net capacity. So that means that we can go around 350 kilometers only. And then in the high-speed test, only 260-ish kilometers. So it's not that great. And that's probably why this car doesn't exist in Europe. There are way too many other better alternatives in Europe. But in Thailand, well, because of the way the tax system works over here, then this car is actually sellable over here. Well, okay, at least I tested it now. So that's going to be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.